High achievers don't work harder. They live by rules most people never consciously adopt. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. We all face the same stress, the same distractions, and the same biological limits. Yet some people consistently produce totally different outcomes, while others remain stuck in a loop of constant effort with zero momentum. Ignore these rules and talent won't save you. You can have all the potential in the world, but without a specific framework for your daily life, that potential will simply evaporate into busy work. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which rule you are currently breaking and why your progress feels much harder than it actually should be. Pay close attention to rule number 6 and rule number 7, because these are the two that most people resist with everything they have, yet they are the ones that create the biggest shifts in results. This is not another video about hustle culture. We are not here to talk about toxic productivity or sleeping 3 hours a night just to prove a point. In fact, true high achievers find those concepts laughable because they are unsustainable. A high achiever is defined by consistent results over a long period of time and the ability to make progress even during those boring, quiet seasons when nobody is watching. If you care about building momentum, gaining absolute clarity, and finding the leverage to do more with less, this video is designed for you. The first rule is that they protect their energy before they protect their time. Most people live by their calendars. They look at a block of time and think they are productive just because they filled it. But time management fails completely without energy management. High achievers understand that an hour of work when they are mentally drained is worth less than 10 minutes of work when they are fully charged. They prioritize high-performance habits that reduce decision fatigue early in the day. They avoid draining conversations and toxic digital environments that leak energy before the real work even begins. Think about your own day. One energy-leaking habit most people ignore is checking their phone the second they wake up. By doing this, you are handing your mental energy to the world before you've used it for yourself. High achievers structure their mornings intentionally to build a surplus of energy because they know that discipline alone is not enough to carry them through a difficult day. And this is exactly why rule number 2 matters even more than discipline. Rule number 2 is that they decide once, not daily. There is a hidden tax on your brain every time you have to make a choice. What should I wear? What should I eat? What task should I start first? High achievers realize that the more decisions they have to make, the lower the quality of those decisions becomes. They rely on systems rather than motivation. Motivation is a feeling that fluctuates, but a system is a fixed structure. They create fixed routines and default choices so they don't have to think about the small stuff. They have rules instead of moods. For example, they don't decide whether to go to the gym when they wake up. They decided 3 months ago that they go every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 in the morning. The decision is already made. One area you can decide once starting tomorrow is your top priority for the next day. Write it down before you go to sleep. When you wake up, you don't need to find your direction. You just need to start moving. But even the best systems fail if you break rule number 3. Rule number 3 is that they ruthlessly limit their inputs. We live in an era of information overload, but high achievers know that clarity is their most valuable asset. What you consume shapes what you produce. If your mind is constantly filled with the noise of the news, the curated lives of others on social media, or the unsolicited opinions of people who aren't where you want to be, your output will be diluted. High achievers are incredibly selective about what they let into their heads. They understand the difference between being informed and being distracted. Being informed helps you make better moves. Being distracted just keeps your brain busy while your body stays still. Take a moment to mentally audit your daily inputs. How much of what you read or watch today actually contributed to your goals? Most people are drowning in information but starving for wisdom. High achievers cut the noise so they can hear their own thoughts. This is where most people fall behind without realizing it. Rule number 4 is that they prioritize long-term wins over short-term relief. This is where emotional maturity beats raw talent every single time. Most people are addicted to short-term comfort. They avoid difficult conversations because it feels better in the moment. They procrastinate on a hard project by doing easy admin tasks, which is really just procrastination disguised as planning. High achievers have the ability to delay gratification. They choose uncomfortable clarity over comfortable confusion. They ask themselves one specific question before they act. Will this choice make my future self's life easier or harder? If it's just for short-term relief, they skip it. They are willing to look foolish or feel awkward in the present if it guarantees a win in the future. They understand that the price of greatness is often a series of uncomfortable moments that others are too afraid to face. And this next rule is exactly why they don't burn out while doing it. Rule number 5 is that they build recovery into their schedule. Most people view recovery as a reward for finishing work, or worse, something they only do once they've completely burned out. High achievers treat recovery as a performance strategy. They know that you cannot stay at the top of your game if your engine is constantly overheating. They treat rest, sleep, and downtime as essential tools, just as important as their work hours. There is a massive difference between a burnout cycle and sustainable momentum. High achievers don't wait for a breakdown to take a break. They schedule their rest with the same intensity that they schedule their meetings. By prioritizing recovery, they ensure that when they are working, they are operating at 100% capacity rather than dragging through the day at 50%. This shift in success mindset allows them to outlast everyone else who is trying to sprint a marathon. But here is the rule almost no one wants to hear. Rule 6. They detach self-worth from daily results. This emotional detachment guideline promotes consistency. Most people define themselves by their results. A productive day makes them feel heroic. If they lose or have a slow day, they feel bad. This emotional roller coaster exhausts and leads to quitting. Successful people evaluate the process, not the day. They maintain calm throughout big losses and humble during big successes. One poor day doesn't make them a failure, yet one wonderful day makes them a legend. By separating their ego from the immediate result, they can objectively evaluate their mistakes and pivot rapidly. This rule keeps them consistent when others quit because they want data to improve, not dopamine to feel good. The rule is powerful because it requires you to cease seeking external affirmation for your work. Final rule pulls everything together. Rule 7. Act like the person they're becoming. This is identity-based choice. High achievers change their identity first to improve their performance. Unlike other people, they never ask, "What should I do today?" Says, "What would the future version of me who has already achieved my goals do today?" This simple rethink alters all decisions. It makes it simpler to ignore distractions, wake up on time, and focus. When you believe you're a high achiever, you don't have to try to be one. Every modest daily action votes for your future self. These small actions add up to match your internal and external identities. This guideline turns this list into a lifestyle rather than a list of strategies. These 7 criteria do not require more hours or a higher IQ. They involve managing your mind, environment, and reactions to the world. These ideas underpin high-performance habits. Success comes from following a set of rules every day. If you're working hard but not getting anywhere, you may be breaching one of these success laws. Which rule are you unknowingly breaking? Is it rule number 1, wasting energy before noon? Does rule 6 involve letting a bad day damage your self-esteem? Look at your daily routines and see where you fall short of your goals. Which rule hit you hardest today? Comment below. If this was helpful, start applying one rule tomorrow morning. Your future self awaits your change. You can only get there by being consistent. Don't skip to the next video. Choose a rule, follow it, and watch your lifeline with your goals. That's how you excel.